What is up, First fans? How are you guys doing? We're doing good.
I'm doing good.
Devin is doing good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing okay. Struggling a little bit.
He needs new glasses.
And Christian McCaffrey.
Oh.
He hurts.
Do you have Christian McCaffrey?
I do in a league I'm trying to win in, obviously, in a dynasty league.
Oh, okay,
I just traded for him.
Right.
And,
so that must hurt.
It's not great. I'm still getting over it, as probably many of you are. But could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be out the whole year, and it's looking... I've heard anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks or so. Nothing's official.
Okay.
But hopefully we'll hear soon. But today we've got good news. Player pick'ems for you.
Ooh, for week 3.
Yeah, this is where I ask Devin his thoughts on certain players from each game, all the games, and he has to tell us what he thinks. If this player will go over, go under, hit a certain number of targets, all sorts of stuff. So anyway, we're going to start off for you without getting too far into it.
Okay.
The first game we're going to go into is Chicago versus Cleveland.
Ooh.
And my first question is, Justin Fields will pass and rush for more than 265 total yards in his first official full game.
I think he will.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he will. I think Cleveland's almost obviously going to get a lot of touchdowns on the board. High-powered offense, and against every team they go to, the first half of the game, easy 3 touchdowns for them, maybe even 4. So Justin Fields,
4, huh?
Maybe. Chicago's defense isn't really great.
Yeah.
Anyway, Justin Fields is going to have a lot of garbage time. He's going to pass the ball a lot because he's going to need to, and you also gotta put that rushing yards into play. I can see him rushing easily over 50 yards this week.
Yeah, I see that too. He had 31 last week, 10 attempts in partial games, so we could see that. I think it's definitely very attainable.
Next, Lamar Jackson.
Yes, but I heard he can throw. Of course, Lamar can kind of throw. I'm not going to give him too much grief. Allen Robinson will receive over 63 yards.
Ooh. I think he will do it as well.
Yeah, he's not been doing too well this year. People are afraid.
Basically the only target on the team. And Justin Fields is new.
Darnell Mooney, he led the team last week in targets and yards.
Yeah, but Allen Robinson is the most talented guy on the team.
Maybe.
Are we going to do that? Are you going back on that tit for tat? We had a tit for tat on this. I was against Allen Robinson, but I do acknowledge that he is the best receiver on the team.
Yeah.
So Justin Fields will give him a lot of targets. Maybe Darnell Mooney will get some targets as well, but I can see Allen Robinson being the number 1 this week.
All right.
A lot of targets.
All right. Start up your Allen Robinson.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For the Cleveland side, Odell Beckham in his first game back will get you 50 or more receiving yards.
Absolutely. Wow, this is just a lot of yeses.
You don't think he's going to get re-injured?
Is he going to get re-injured?
Is he going to tweak it again and have to come out of the game?
That's a hard question. Odell Beckham always gets injured.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when he gets injured, he doesn't really play through it, so
no,
it's rough.
He's not like this guy back here.
Yeah. Hopkins plays through his injury.
We'll see this week he's injured. And
he will play.
Okay.
For all you guys who have Hopkins out there, don't sweat it. Don't worry. He's going to play, and I guarantee he might even get you 100 yards this week.
Wow.
Don't even worry about it.
Wow, you really sound confident.
Better than Rondell Moore.
Okay.
Hold me to it, okay? if I'm wrong, clip that.
Okay.
Shove it in my face.
How about Nick Chubb will finish as a top 5 running back this week?
This is going to be a no for me.
You don't think so, huh?
I don't think so. This is going to be a good week for Saquon Barkley going against Atlanta. Could be a good week for Jonathan Taylor as well. Okay. A lot of people had high hopes for him. And Swift is also healthy.
Well, you got McCaffrey out.
Yeah.
There's one down.
Yeah, that's true. But there's just so many running backs that are primed and just in a good situation to do very well. I'm not going to say Nick Chubb is not going to do well. He just has a lot of competition. Being in the top 5 is a little difficult to do.
Pretty good. Okay.
So I think he'll do a good game, just not top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arizona versus Jacksonville. Chase Edmonds will rush and receive for over 77 total yards.
I think he'll do this.
Okay.
Yeah, 77 yards is not really hard to ask for, especially against Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yeah, I was going to say that.
And since Hopkins is playing injured, that's more for Chase Edmonds. So, I think he'll do it.
Okay. How about Kyler? Will Kyler Murray score over 27 fantasy football points? That's a lot of points in a good matchup.
Again, Jacksonville, I think he'll do it. He's really good with rushing yards. I think he could easily get a rushing touchdown here. And then pass for a touchdown, whether it's to Hopkins or Rondale Moore, or one each, or Christian Kirk is in the game as well, A.J. Green. Whoever, I think he'll definitely do it. I can see him getting a lot of touchdowns this game.
Okay. On the Jacksonville side, Trevor Lawrence will throw for 250-plus yards and throw more than one touchdown.
So I'm going to say no.
Okay.
No.
No garbage time for him this week, huh?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Arizona Cardinals defense is actually doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Last week they had a little bit of an off week, but understandable considering their matchup. This week they're going against Jacksonville. I think they're going to step it up again. 250 throwing yards.
Yeah.
250 yards.
Right.
That's quite a bit. And throwing for more than one touchdown. If you were talking about just total yards, because Trevor Lawrence can run.
Yeah.
So if you're just talking about total yards, I may lean that way, but since it's just throwing, I'm going to have to lean toward no.
Okay, fair enough. How about Marvin Jones will catch under 68 receiving yards?
This is a hard one.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a no here.
Sounds like it.
I think he'll do it.
Okay.
I think he'll, he will go over 68 receiving yards.
So you're going the over.
Yeah. Okay. I can see him getting 10 or 11 targets just like he's been getting recently. So you add those targets up, receptions, yards. I can see him doing pretty well this week, considering
Sounds
what
good.
I just said about the Cardinals defense and Trevor Lawrence. I think he'll do pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of overs, this man right here, Travis Kelce, pretty much always gets you overs.
Yes.
And we are giving away collector cards with Mr. Travis Kelce on them right now. We had 1,000 printed, and everyone who likes, subscribes, and leaves a comment on this video is going to get a collector card. All the information will be down below. We just wanted to put that out there for you, and we'll get back to the video. All right. Let's see here. We've got the LA Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Justin Herbert will throw more than 2 touchdowns.
So that's 3 touchdowns.
That is 3.
No.
Ain't gonna happen, huh?
I think this is going to be a low-scoring game.
Really?
I do.
Everybody seems to say this is a high-scoring game.
It was a low-scoring game last year. I'm kind of going with the trend.
Yeah, division rivals, right?
Yeah, exactly. Division Chargers almost shut down Mahomes last year. I think they could do it again. If anyone knows how to do it, the Chargers can.
Okay.
So I'm going with a low-scoring game. I'm saying he's going to cap at 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, okay. Mike Williams will continue his strong season and have 6 or more receptions.
This is a tough one. I'm also going to say no here, too.
Wow.
I think in my rankings today, I think I marked him at about 3 or 4 receptions for this game.
Okay, so you think he's tailing off quite a bit.
For this game.
Yeah, right.
Low-scoring game,
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
I still think he's going to do pretty well for the season, but this game might be a little bit of an off-season for both teams.
Okay.
Except for both running backs.
Okay. Tyreek Hill will go over 88 receiving yards.
I think this could happen. I just said,
yeah,
right. But he's his
they're
player.
going to have some yards,
exactly.
Right? So
he's his top player. I mean, 88 yards. He's the deep threat. 1 long bomb and just a few receptions, and Tyreek Hill's over. I think he'll do it.
Okay.
88 receiving yards.
And Travis Kelce will be held under 8 receptions.
I think it's going to happen.
I think this is going to happen too.
Yeah. In my rankings, I actually have Travis Kelce as my, 8th tight end for the week.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be held under. Chargers have a good defense. They have solid players. Travis Kelce is going to be covered by pretty much Kenneth Murray, which is a pretty talented guy, and Derwin James as well.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to focus on Travis Kelce and shut him down.
They've been pretty good at shutting him down in the past. So.
Yeah.
Especially when Derwin James has been in the game. So
yeah, exactly.
We'll see what happens with that one.
Yep.
All right. Washington versus Buffalo. Josh Allen stuns everyone and throws for 300 plus yards on that Washington defense.
No.
No.
I think no. I think Josh Allen is going to have one more off week, and then the rest of the season is going to be golden for him.
Okay.
It's just one more week, guys.
Maybe a trade target then, huh? After this week. Maybe get him a little bit at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, buy low.
Yep. Devin Singletary finds the end zone and scores a touchdown.
I'm going to also say no in this one.
No.
Devin Singletary had a big week last week, but don't get carried away, guys. He's not a great running back, okay?
He has looked good this year, though. In limited, he hasn't had the ball a ton, and when he has had it, he has looked pretty good.
I still think it's going to be split between him and Zach Moss. And Zach Moss hasn't really come on strong yet. So I'm going to say no. And Washington has a good defense.
Yep. All right. Tyler Henneke will go over 16 fantasy points. Not too high, not too low.
This is a tough one.
Kind of a medium game.
I think he will do that, mainly because of the garbage time. Yeah. If Buffalo scores a couple touchdowns, which I think they can, then yeah, I think he will, because he'll just throw for a lot of yards. The only problem is that if they shut down McLaurin, then who are they going to throw to?
My next question, Logan Thomas?
Yeah, exactly.
Will he have more than 4 receptions, especially with all this garbage time you're talking about?
Then yes, I definitely think, 4 receptions is not very a lot, so yeah.
It's pretty close for a tight end.
And Heineke likes to throw the ball.
Yeah, he does.
I will say that, yep.
Okay, we'll move on to Indianapolis versus Tennessee. Jonathan Taylor is held to under 83 rushing yards.
This is hard, because I think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a really good game. But 83 is a lot of rushing yards.
Yes.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say he's going to be held under 83 yards.
Okay.
He's not going to go over.
Okay. So you're picking the under. Now, we get a lot of these. I go through Underdog and find a lot of these player prop stats and stuff and pull these up for Devin to kind of pull them into fantasy as well. If you like that kind of stuff, you can go on to Underdog and sign up and, play some as well and do these under-overs, and you can win a decent money. I just pulled I did a $5 bet and pulled a $100 win getting 5 right. So it's pretty fun. You should try it. Okay, so how about Nahim Heinz will get over 4 catches this week?
I'm also going to say no on this one.
Okay, the first week he did, the second week he didn't, and you're saying no to the third week as well.
Yeah, this kind of goes with, I think this is going to be Jonathan Taylor's game.
Okay.
So, they have just so much of a crowded backfield there. It's hard to say that if running back goes off, then another one will do well. So I'm going to say no to Nahim Heinz.
All right. On the Tennessee side, A.J. Brown will score a touchdown this week.
Yes.
He did last week.
I think he will.
He's been dropping some passes, too. Hasn't looked great so far this season.
Yeah. Hasn't really had a huge game. But good thing is Julio Jones is going to be covered by Xavier Rhodes, most likely. So that leaves A.J. Brown pretty much open.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think he'll get targeted a lot.
All right. Derrick Henry rushes and receives more than 120 total yards. That feels really weird saying the receives part, but we have to include that now, it looks like.
It's actually funny you say this, because in my rankings, I had Derrick Henry rushing for 125 yards this week.
So you don't even need those receiving yards. Assuming he gets any. You never know.
He will go off this week.
Okay.
He's going to explode.
Okay.
Does it every time he goes against Indianapolis. So
all right.
Do it again.
Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Joe Mixon rushes for more than 70 yards.
This is tough. I'm going to say no. 7 yards is quite a bit, especially against Pittsburgh.
Although their defense is kind of hurting right now. They've lost a couple of their linebackers and they're a little sore.
Yeah, but they still have a lot of talented players.
Very true.
Really, really good players. They still have Melvin Ingram there.
Yep.
Minka Fitzpatrick there. So, yeah, they still have a lot of good players on their defense. Yeah. So, I think Joe Mixon will be shut down below 70 rushing yards.
Okay.
He could, if you said 70 total
combined,
yards.
Sure, a lot more likely. Okay.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase has more than 67 receiving yards.
This is where I say yes. Jamar Chase has looked very dominant this year, and it really makes me mad because I should have listened to my gut. I loved CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. Even
though he went to an offense with so many receivers, I still loved him. And why I didn't draft Jamar Chase is because he went to a team with so many receivers.
Yeah.
I should have just went with my gut. Should have drafted him. But anyway, yes, I think he'll do it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He's very dominant. A lot of receiving yards. Joe Burrow loves to throw the ball. I think he'll do it.
They got a good connection. All
Yes.
right. Najee Harris scores a rushing or a receiving TD this week.
I think he'll do it, yeah. This year he has not looked great, I think going against Cincinnati's defense, I think this is the week that he does very well. Yes.
Okay. How about Ben Roethlisberger scores more than 16 fantasy points?
It's funny you say this because Ben Roethlisberger always struggles against his division rivals. Mm-hmm. And this is definitely a division rival. So,
and they're out Deontay Johnson. He has been ruled out, so get him out of your lineup.
Yes. And, and it's funny you say that because he definitely could, but I don't really think so. I think this could be a high-scoring game for both sides.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
On to New Orleans Saints and New England Patriots.
Okay.
Jameis Winston bounces back and scores more than 16 fantasy points. Not 5 TDs, but just 16 fantasy points.
Yeah, I think he'll do it. Even though New England is a really good defense, I think Jameis Winston has it in him to do that.
Okay. That's not setting the bar too high. So, How about Alvin Kamara has more than 99 rushing and receiving yards?
This one, when I actually read this question earlier, because I read these before the show, I was stumped. I did not know if I was going to do this or not. I'm going to have to go with no.
Yeah, they're good at shutting down the best player of the opposite team.
Exactly. So. Another good defense for Alvin Kamara to go against. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he'll do better than last week, but just not much better.
Well, and if he doesn't do good this week, he might be a good trade opportunity for you guys. A buy low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
First game, he did good. Not great, but he did good. And then pretty poor last week. If he does pretty poor this week, could be an opportunity.
Yep.
All right. How about Mac Jones will be held under 16 fantasy football points?
I don't think this will happen. I think he'll go over 16 fantasy points. And that's mainly because he likes throwing the ball. And Nelson Aguilar is there. They still have their 2 tight ends. I mean, Bill Belichick knows how to
set up a game plan.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So I think he'll do it. This could be a good game.
Okay. Marquez Callaway will have more than 36 receiving yards.
Absolutely, he will. Yes.
You think he's going to get on track finally, huh?
I think he's going to do it. I mean, why wouldn't he? Jameis Winston loved him in the preseason. We all expected
but that was preseason.
We all expected
him to do very well. Everybody thinks he is?
And Jameis Winston loves throwing the ball. Someone has to catch the ball, and I think Marquez Callaway is finally going to do it this week.
Okay.
Wouldn't even be surprised if he gets a touchdown.
Okay. How about Atlanta versus the New York Giants? Matt Ryan will finish as a top 15 quarterback this week.
No.
Ooh, not again, huh?
No. Matt Ryan has looked really bad this year. Even last week. And last week he was supposed to explode and do so well. And even though he did pretty well, he didn't look great.
Yeah.
So I don't.
No confidence.
Yes. I didn't have confidence before the season. And this kind of just proves it.
Okay.
I think it's going to take more than half the season to get him really going.
Okay. Well, how about Kyle Pitts? Will he have more than 58 receiving yards?
I think that could happen. Yeah.
Okay.
He's been targeted quite a bit this year.
Yeah.
And against the Giants, I can see that happening.
Okay. Daniel Jones will throw or rush for 2 or more TDs.
I think this can happen. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Especially since you added in rushing.
I know, huh? He's been a sneaky rusher this year.
Yeah, I know. Taken away from Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, he's actually a fantasy play at quarterback so far.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. How about Kenny Golladay wakes up and has more than 57 receiving yards? Is this the game?
I think this is the game.
Really?
It can happen. It's against Atlanta.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, huh?
Not a very good defense. So, if he is going to wake up, this is definitely the week to do it.
Okay.
And everyone was expecting him to do well. How could you not throw to that talent?
Yep.
So, yeah, it has to happen eventually. I think this is the week to do it.
Okay. We'll move on to Baltimore versus Detroit.
Okay.
Jared Goff will throw for more than 225 yards this week.
Ooh, I think it'll happen. Just so much garbage time. He went against San Francisco. It's a good defense. Green Bay, it's a good defense. Baltimore, again, good defense. He's done it every single week so far. So, yeah, I think he'll do it again.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then, how about TJ Hawkinson will lead all receivers for Detroit in yardage?
So, the receivers in Detroit?
In Detroit.
Okay.
For the Detroit team.
This is a tough one because they have DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely do it. I think Baltimore. I've been reading up on a lot of experts looking at this, and they say that Quintez Cephus is the sit-em this week because Baltimore is going to focus on him, and also T.J. Hawkinson. But I think it's a lot harder to shut down T.J. Hawkinson when you give him 10 to 15 targets a week. Yeah, crazy.
Well, and so far Detroit's had a pretty good offensive line, so they're giving Jared Goff enough time to throw.
Yeah,
So even if it takes a little bit longer to get open or whatnot, it's been pretty good for him.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on, and we will go to Lamar Jackson will have more than 300 passing and rushing yards.
I think he can do it. Yes. It's the same thing with Detroit. I think Jared Goff will throw the ball a lot of garbage time. He's going to get some touchdowns here and there. That's giving Lamar Jackson incentive to throw the ball and rush the ball and just drive the field a lot more instead of just, running out the clock and wasting time at the end of the game. I think they'll be trying the whole game.
Okay. How about Marquis Brown? Assuming he plays, will have more than 4 receptions, so 5 plus.
If he plays, yes.
Okay.
I think it'll happen. Detroit doesn't really have much of a defense.
He's been targeted. I think I looked it up. It was like 35 or 37% of the team's passing. I mean, that's major.
Yeah.
Major. So if that continues, he'll easily have that, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, how about Miami versus the Las Vegas Raiders? Myles Gaskin will rush and receive for more than 65 yards.
I'm going to say no on this one.
Not a Myles Gaskin fan this week, huh?
Even though 65 yards is not a lot. Not a fan of him this week.
They've been sharing too much, right?
Will Fuller's coming back.
Yeah.
I think they're going to use their shiny new toy this week. And you also got to look at Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback.
And he likes to run.
He's also not a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't really think the offense is going to do a lot.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's that.
Fair enough.
Yep.
How about Jalen Waddle then? Will he go over 49 receiving yards?
I also don't think this is going to happen.
Okay, wow.
Same thing. Jacoby Brissett's not a very good quarterback. Don't think a lot of the offense this week. And they're going to use Will Fuller, their shiny new toy that they just got back.
Okay.
So, yeah, Jalen Waddle, I don't play him.
Okay.
Don't play him.
For the Raiders, Darren Waller will have more than 75 receiving yards and score a touchdown.
Yes.
Well, that was pretty confident.
Yes. I think this is definitely going to happen. I mean, how could you not?
Well, he didn't do it last week.
The guy had 19 targets the first week.
Yeah, the first week he went off. Huh?
And, last week it was guaranteed. I even watched our video. I even said that he wasn't going to do good.
Yeah.
I had him ranked as number 8 last week, just like I have Kelce ranked 8 this week. I knew it was going to be a bad week for him. This week, I know he's going to do very well.
Okay.
I could see him going over 100 yards.
All right, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take that as Darren Waller owners, huh?
Yes.
Derek Carr will be held to under 19 fantasy points.
Of course not.
It's going over, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
How could he not? Derek Carr is a great quarterback. Even though I gave him a little bit of slack during the offseason. But,
he's stepping it up this year.
Exactly.
Huh?
He's done it against Baltimore, against Pittsburgh, against Miami. Of course, they have a good defense, but not as good as Pittsburgh's, let's be honest.
Okay.
And, going with Darren Waller doing very well this week, yes, I think Derek Carr's going to do it.
Okay, like it.
Yes.
New York Jets versus Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Melvin Gordon has more than 65 rushing and receiving yards.
Yes, I think it'll happen. Even though he's starting to split a little bit more as the weeks go by with Williams, I think he'll still do it. Rushing and receiving for 65 yards, there's not really a whole lot to ask for, especially against the Jets.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think he'll do it.
Okay. Teddy Bridgewater will throw for more than 250 yards.
I also think this will happen. The only reason I think it couldn't happen is if the Jets don't score a touchdown, don't get any points on the board. If Denver shuts them down, then I can see Teddy Bridgewater not
having to do as much. Yeah.
Exactly. Them just running out the clock, maybe even putting the backup quarterback in. So, yeah.
Okay. How about for the Jets, Corey Davis will catch 4 or more receptions.
Well, I hope so. I'm playing him this week. But yeah, I think it'll definitely happen. They got to throw to somebody, and Corey Davis is their main guy. Denver does have a very good defense, sure, and he's going to be covered by Patrick Surtain. But Zach Wilson has looked terrible this year. I don't see him looking nearly as bad as he did last week. I see him doing at least a little bit better. And so, yeah, 4 more receptions. I could think that can definitely happen for Corey Davis.
Okay. How about Elijah Moore will receive more than 38 yards?
This is a tough one. I think yes. It could definitely happen. Because Jameson Crowder is still injured, right?
Yes, I believe that is the case.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I think it could definitely happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay versus the LA Rams.
Okay.
Tom Brady will throw for more than 300 passing yards on that Rams defense.
Absolutely.
He's going for it, huh?
Yeah, I think
they're not going to. Now, the last couple of times they've played, they've kind of put a hurting on Brady, and they actually, I think it was last year, they beat him. So
I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. I mean,
Okay.
they have Stafford. Tom Brady has looked great this year.
yeah, on fire, huh?
Yeah, especially with Gronk. Antonio Brown's there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just he has so many options, so many things to throw to. Tom Brady will not get shut down. I mean, he's going to have a great game. I mean, Tom Brady did struggle last year, the beginning of the season, but he's not having that this year. So, yes, I think Tom Brady will definitely have a good game this year. This week.
This week, right.
Yeah. So, 300 passing yards, definitely.
How about Leonard Fournette? Will he do well? Will he have more than 67 rushing and receiving yards?
No.
Not going to get there, huh?
No.
Okay.
I think I had in my stats for rushing and receiving, I think I had him below 35
Oh, wow.
yards total.
Wow, really?
Yeah, him and Ronald Jones. Tom Brady and Stafford both are coming into this game knowing that they have to pass the ball in order to win. They have
Don't
to
you
get
think,
a lot of touchdowns.
Tom Brady does like to dump it off. You don't think he'll get some pretty good yardage from passes then?
Tell that to him week 1.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. He came into that week knowing he had to pass the ball. I mean, last week against Atlanta, I'm pretty sure Tom Brady came into that week already knowing he was going to win.
Yeah.
It's just a soft defense, and Matt Ryan doesn't really look very good this year. So, and Stafford has looked great this year.
Okay.
So, yes, I think they're going to go into this game knowing they have to throw the ball. I think Leonard Fournette's going to suck this
Well, it
week.
sounds like I have the answer for this one then.
That was
Matthew Stafford will score more than 22 fantasy points.
Yes. I think
On
it'll
fire.
happen. Yes.
And for all the reasons he already pretty much just said.
Yep.
All right, how about Robert Woods will be held to less than 68 receiving yards?
I think he'll go over, actually.
Is this the week?
I think this is the week, yeah.
Okay. You predict a touchdown too, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're thinking about sitting Robert Woods, don't. I would play him.
Play him.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp has looked like the dominant receiver on that team. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to do everything they can to shut him down. They're going to try, and they will not succeed.
Okay.
But Stafford will find Robert Woods open way more often than Kupp, so I think Robert Woods is going to have a big game this week.
Okay. Makes sense. Seattle versus Minnesota. Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf will each have more than 78 receiving yards.
This is tough. Last time Tyler Lockett went against Patrick Peterson, he exploded.
Boom.
And had that, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, 20 targets, something crazy like that. So it's definitely tough for me to answer this because I don't know if that game is going to happen again.
Well, they've both been playing. I mean, right now it's DK Metcalf we're worried about, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is actually what I'm worried about. But I'm going to go with yes. I mean, DK Metcalf has to do well at some point.
Okay.
I think this could definitely be the week against Minnesota's defense.
Sounds like this is going to be a high-scoring game too then?
Yeah, it definitely could be, yeah.
Okay.
At least 3 touchdowns for both sides.
Oh, yeah. Okay. How about Chris Carson will go over 89 yards rushing and receiving?
I am not sure about this one.
Okay.
It's kind of like the same argument with Tom Brady and Stafford. I think both teams are going to go into this game knowing that they have to pass a lot, which is going to disencourage the running game. I don't know about this. I think Dalvin Cook's going to have an amazing game. He's going to blow up. I just don't know about Chris Carson. With wanting to get Metcalf involved, because I know Russell Wilson's that kind of guy to do that, so I don't know about Carson.
So go with the under.
Yes, I'm going to go with the under.
How about Kirk Cousins will throw 2 or more TDs?
Yeah, I think this will definitely happen.
He's been on it so far this year, huh?
I can see him throwing a touchdown to Cook.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Adam Thielen will catch more than 71 yards this game?
This one's tough. I'm going to say no on this one.
He's going to be held under. They're shutting him down this time?
Yeah.
Barely,
though.
Okay.
Barely.
All right. Well, those were our whole slate there of games that we wanted to get out for you. Don't forget about our Travis Kelce Collector Card. All you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment on the video, and we will send you one out. And anything else you want to add for today?
No, that's all.
Okay. Well, you want to close us out?
Sure. Always remember to finish first.
Thank you for listening to the FantasyFootballFirst.com podcast.
Jackson throws complete. Crabtree has it for a touchdown.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Get more fantasy info and check us out at FantasyFootballFirst.com.